Hey folks, it's Ben. We're here on a creepy late October night near Halloween. We have to do a farewell video and a barnyard tour of this car because it's going to the scrapper tomorrow. So we have a 1994 Buick Regal Custom. It's got the 3.8 liter Series 1. You're familiar with this. I've done a couple videos on it before. I'll tell you what went wrong with it in a little bit, but let's kind of go over the car as it stands right now. And I'll hit you up with the RPO codes. I'll flash on the bottom of the screen. And I will try to pace myself because I go too fast. So there we go. So this car is a Alberta car. It has a rebuilt title, which means it wasn't an accident that totaled it at some point and someone rebuilt it, had it inspected, got it approved, it was back on the road again. So there's various dits and that of damage. So like you've got a rust that's going to start coming through the fender. We'll look at the other side. The kid I gave this car to, he had choices of 16, 17-inch wheels, but he wanted the stock 15s. So that's what we had, and that's what it got. So it's still got the stock with no hubcaps. I've actually switched the lugs over. I put pretty chrome ones on there at least, but just going to the scrapper, I'm going to take those back. We got some Bondo work here. That's right there. On the outside, the windshield's actually got a crack across the side and on the top there, and you can see that they did glue the mirror on, but it is painted, and that pinstripe may or may not be factory. I don't know, we'll see. Black trim, no roof option except it's there. We've got buttered colored door handles though, so we are kind of fancy. Rust has eaten the rocker. Like there was a trim piece here at one point that would kind of clad this squarer, but the rocker panel has decided to leave the chat. So it's just all the way. It doesn't quite go all the way back. Yeah, it does. At this point it does. And underneath it's okay. And like the components that are required are fine, but it's a strike against it when it does have a bad body, right? So so that piece of molding's gone. We'll look at it on the other side. You'll see what I mean because that one's still on. Rear wheels too. It's running a 205 70 15 wheel and tire, or 15-inch wheel, and that's the tire size. Fuel cap's over here. I think it's like a 16.3 or 16.4. Whatever I put on the bottom of the screen is the fuel capacity of this, and here you can see the Regal Limited. Ooh, fancy pants, right? Rear window defogger, Canada mandated options. Probably tint glass. I'm not sure. The guy who's typing up all the things will tell me. It does have a power trunk release though, so that's pretty cool. And here's our tire sizes on the back. Trunk is nice and spacious. It is carpeted, and the RPO codes are here. Let me swing that around. So I'll probably be running the VIN right now too. But that will give us our little information for the video. But underneath here is the instructions and the spare tire, which I don't think's ever been used, and the jack and things live under there, and lots of dust that comes in from the strut towers. The neat part about the Buicks is their rear backup lights are located here on the bumper, not with the taillight assembly. I kind of like the later years better. It's a little cleaner look without that chrome strip across it, but it is what it is. Here we start getting into some holes. That's fairly typical. Surprisingly, none around the top of the lip. We are talking power antenna, by the way, and it does work if you lubricate it constantly. Another wheel. Once again, we're not, and even inside here, there's no structural component rust on the strut area. The struts, or this isn't a strut, it's a transverse leaf, but where the shock connects, there's no issues or damage, so that's cool. While we have it on a trailer, it's a great time to look underneath it actually, because it has no bottom. So we got our muffler here, which is stubby ended, right? The muffler is good, should be stainless steel. Looks like it's starting to get a little bit of hole right there. We have our cross leaf, which looks like I might have to get one for my Illumina, but not this one, not right now. And then you have your fuel tank, your fuel system. But notice back here, there's no really bad rust. Especially in areas like this where all the rocks and things are coming up and hitting things, it's fine. There's we lost a little bit of panel there, so that is toast. But where it counts, it's okay. So I didn't feel bad putting my kid in this car, but it does have all those little, pain in the butt things going on here. Coming around the side, there's that trim piece you were looking for. This one right here. That is missing on the other side, and probably would be happy to be missing on this side too. And we've got some rust on the door that's been repainted. That odd hole up here. This mirror though is attached, so that's pretty cool. And I don't think I can open this door very far. There's a cat print there. But the sill is actually pretty crappy. Honestly, you can just about poke your, if you could with a little screwdriver, poke in through here on the rocker inside. So that's been getting worse as well. So that's going on out there. More front rust. This is more typical of what I would expect to see. And then we have our wheels again. Let's hit the engine compartment while we're here. Not a 3800 Series 1 alternator. It's actually off of Bonneville. But I got it to fit and it works and it was free. So that's what we did. We had issues with the PCM sending the right voltage to it to actually excite. So it's been hardwired into the battery side of things so that it would have a reference current, so then it worked. So it's running manually in manual mode. The PCM does not control the voltage of the alternator. So that's a hit for fuel economy, but that's about it. And people have noticed, what's that for? Well, there's an S coolant pipe here right underneath, and the alternator kind of wants to rub against it because it's bigger than the actual one should be. So to protect that pipe, I put that plastic there to keep it from getting too rubby. But see, the struts are great. The front struts there's no structural damage here. And along the where the subframe connects to the body, which is a bad spot, like you don't want any damage where this bushing is, the body is fine. Like this is a floor pan. So the floor pan's on our way out, so that's more reasons to get rid of it. But the compartment area where it's boxed in is okay, so it's not an immediate structural hazard. Now that being said, the engine mounts on this thing are awful. All three need to be replaced, so when you shift from drive to forward, it really moves the engine back or forth. So we have the electrical center up here. It does have AC. That alternator, I don't know what size it is. The RPO code for that one's actually my Grand Prix. So, but typical serpentine, 3800 series, 160, 165 horse V6, daytime running lights, composite headlamps, dual horns. So that's fancy, right? We're seeing if we can get this old battery to start the car once or twice so we can take it to the salvager with this one instead of not that one, but the one on the ground over there. I'd like to keep that one if I could, but we'll see how that goes. This is our problem. So I did a video on this, and so what happens is this gets wet and corrodes and ceases to communicate to this power box here, and that controls things like horn, ABS, instrumentation lights, actually. A bunch of cool stuff in there. Ignition switch 1 and 2. So yeah, issues. So, and you can see it's quite busy. Never was able to find a 94 that had this identical post. So maybe this is off a different car. Maybe, I don't know. But I could never find a replacement for it. We kind of went with what we had. And unfortunately, my son, he tightened up bolts once too many and sheared it right off. So he zip tied it to the positive post. He zip tied it right to the unit, and it got him home. It stalled 3 times, but it got him home. So perfect, but it's time to move on here. Air filter, that's there. The windshield washer fluids hiding. This does have ABS, I believe. Yeah, there's the ABS module. So we're cooking there too, right? And it's got a tooth out of its grill somewhere, I believe. But yeah, so there's that. Now, these U-Haul trailers are awesome, because you can pop this guy. I'm in Canada, but 55 is the limit. This trailer is registered in Kansas. They have the fender that folds down, so now I can open the door without having to hit it. That's totally when U-Haul. Good job. So back to the interior here. We got power windows, power door locks. I think they all did it this time because of the seat belts on the... Where are my interior lights not on? Okay. maybe we're not good on that box over there. So we got 222,000 kilometers. So that's not actually as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was around 230. But it's got a cute little tachometer, speedometer, oils, volts, temperature, and fuel. So it's kind of a nice, but I was never a big fan of the W body flat console layout. I like the Grand Prix, which is driver centric type of thing. There's the 4-speed automatic shifter. It is a column shift. Old person car, right? Canada Twilight Sentinel is going to be normal. You got delay wipers, cruise control on the one stock, the super stock. And then the radio would normally be in this hole. And then there'd be an auxiliary radio unit here. Oh, yeah, the accessory, like a CD or cassette, would be in this area, and your radio controls would be here. But those actually go down to a main head unit down there. So when you put in an aftermarket radio, you kind of have to work around that. So this has had the aftermarket unit taken out, and I got the factory unit right beside me. We'll just leave it here for the guy to pick. Buick Limited, so I guess it's not a custom, it's a limited. Air conditioning works. And I always forget to scan up here. We got dome lights. We must have that. That mustn't be right. We've got that. And lights up here, if you could see them. And then, oh, it's got these pull-out additional shades. So, yeah, when you pull this out and over, you can pull that out to cover the extra bit of window if you needed it to. We do have airbags, and we're sitting in a bench seat. Gray interior. Power trunk release lives in the glove box, which is a pain to open, so you'll miss it this time. Sorry, guys. And a vanity mirror on this side, too. Whoops. There we go. And then the back seat's nothing special. Although if there's a child seat provision in the RPO codes, I'll mention it now. And an armrest that comes down. I don't know if there's a pass-through to the trunk or not. It didn't look like there was. Let's find out. Exploring the car the day before. Nope, it doesn't. It's just an armrest. So you can seat 6 or 4 comfortably. Your choice. And boy, that's from the 70s. The little round reading lamps. Also not working. Great. Perfect. Let's get rid of this thing. So that's it in a nutshell. 1994 Buick Regal Limited. Not a custom, I guess. Going to iPulluPull up in Edmonton. That they gave us a fair price for it, for what I thought it would be, and it's not hassle. And we're coming back with the next car that's getting a barnyard walkthrough, but we'll discuss that when it happens. So yeah, looks like it's out of the way. Looks like we're still having issues here, so needs to be tighter, man. If you're gonna redneck repair it, come on. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions on this car, let me know. I'll probably get the video out before it actually shows up on their website. I imagine they will part it out in the yard, not just go right to crusher, but you never know with these things. So it could end up as a parts unit. It might get squished immediately. Who knows? But if you have any questions, leave them, comments, ask them, or vice versa. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Turbo 231 for more exciting barnyard videos. Farewell video for this car. I think I'm done in the trunk, so I can close that. And we'll see you next time. New car's coming back tomorrow. So this one goes up tomorrow morning. In theory, we're dragging something back. So stay tuned.